welcome back. This is Marissa. We are going to be doing the diamond painting tag. A couple of us came up with this during, I think it was Creative Mayhems Live. I know both Cindy's Traveling Crafts and Ginger were there. I know there was a couple of other people, so forgive me if I did not mention your name. But I'm going to continue working on Firstborn here. This is the progress that I've gotten. I do have some down here at the bottom as well. But this is the progress I've gotten. Today is day 5 to work on this. So I've got all of this going. I have Fruitini's 12-hour live stream going on my TV in the background with the sound muted. I have got my coffee in my fantastic flamingo cup that my mom bought me. I'm drinking Texas pecan with hazelnut coffee creamer in it. So we are going to go ahead and get ready to go. One thing that I'll tell you today, I am using my, get this on the white so you can see it. This is my Coral Seas. I think it's called Coral Seas. It's a handmade diamond painting pen from Carol and Sean in the Handmade Diamond Painting Pens group on Facebook. I also have my TARDIS tray from my 3D Designs. So there you go. You can see, oh, that's a good pic of the inside. So you guys can see what I was talking about in my unboxing video. You can see the lines and things in there really well today. So really what I've started using this for most is to line up my drills. So I take a look and see which drills I'm going to use the most. So we're going to start with our 939s. Got the tweezers that launched the channel. And we are going to switch over to our big tray, and I do need to go ahead and re-wax my pen before we start. So we've got 43 questions. I'm going to try to do this in about an hour or so because I do have a committee meeting that I have to go to later on this afternoon, which I will tell y'all about more on a future date or future whip and chat. Probably I'll talk more about that. So one thing I have noticed, these are perfect. These tweezers are perfect for using the flat side right here. These are the new Doris containers that I got for myself. And if you will just get your tweezers down in there, that lid pops open really, really easily. And so then you don't have to worry about breaking your nails. My nails are pretty weak right now because I have been I've been doing the dip powder nails, which are supposed to be better for your nails, but I've done them for about 3 months straight, and so my nails have gotten super weak and they keep breaking. But anywho, that's not what you came here for. So today the first question we're going to start with is, how did you find out about diamond painting? And I'm probably going to go ahead and call it DP. There it is. I found out about diamond painting on Facebook from my friend Natalie. She had done a diamond painting back at the beginning of October, I believe. She was working on a Santa, getting ready for the Christmas season. Which is her favorite, and I saw the picture of it and I asked her what it was, and she told me, and so I immediately went to YouTube and started watching all the videos on YouTube that I could find at the time. There were some. There were just a few creators at that time. Now we have a lot more choice of the creators that we would prefer to watch and things like that. So that's how I found out about diamond painting. Question 2. What was your first DP project? I am, or can be, I should say, very impatient. So I got on Amazon and I ordered a couple of snowmen from Amazon. It was a 4-pack, I believe, of different snowmen. They were just little. They were, 8.5 by 11 inches, maybe, size of a sheet of paper. And I ordered those. I did complete 2 of those. The other 2 I passed on to a friend of mine to see if this was a craft that she liked and was able to do. She has lots of problems with her hands. And so, with being able to modify, thicker pens and things like that, we thought that that might be something that she would enjoy. She used to do a lot of beading and those kinds of things. So that's what happened to the other 2. They were okay quality. I know that now. I started small to see if I liked the craft, and I did a lot. And so I went ahead and ordered a couple more. I think I ordered... I found one at Michael's, which was the Diamond Dots. I believe it's called the Sugar Skull. I don't know if it was a Halloween one. And so I got that one. I really enjoyed it. And then I got the... What did I order next? Oh, and then I did my first AliExpress order, which included Groot and the Little Mermaid, which is the same one that Rachel Ray did several months back. Both of those were intended to be Christmas presents. The Little Mermaid came in on time, and I was able to get it done in 6 days. And I finished it on the morning of Christmas Eve. And so that one got to its recipient on time. However, Groot I did not get until the 27th of December, and so that's the one that I finished before I started this one. And I found that kiddo a Whataburger shirt, and those of you from Texas, you know what Whataburger is, and you know how Texans feel about Whataburger. So she got that instead, and she was perfectly content with that, but she is pretty excited. She will actually get her Groot today. I'm going to take it up to her so that she can go ahead and get that framed and hang it up on her wall. Okay. My favorite company or website to order from. I have only ever ordered from AliExpress, from Amazon, and from Diamond Art Club. So of those 3, Diamond Art Club is the easiest to order from. You go in, you see what they have. I love the way that their website is laid out, how easy it is. I like that they have chosen the best size for whatever the picture is, so that you get the detail that you need and all that. It's not a guessing game. They are a little pricey. Now, I say that as I'm doing a Diamond Art Club. I feel like I can treat myself every once in a while. I don't think I would have... I've had this conversation more than once. Diamond Art Club, in my opinion, the 2 things that they do best are their customer service and their quality. They are amazing at both of those things. I absolutely love them for both of those things. I love that they're actually involved in the community, that they come into chats, that they speak with us, that they ask our opinion, that they actually listen when we're telling them things. I know that's how we got the little keys now. They're coming separate, a little piece that's rolled up now in the new kits. Some of the things that I guess not dislike, but some of the things that kind of limit to what I am wanting on the DAC website is the types of pictures that they have. Everybody goes crazy for the Mandy Benzanos, and I think they're all gorgeous. Every single one of them is gorgeous. They're just not my taste, if that makes sense. I don't want to take anything at all away from the artist or away from Diamond Art Club. They are immaculately done, They're gorgeous. I like them. But I don't want to hang up every single one in my house, if that makes sense. I know there are some people that do. And hey, that's fine. That's on you. You know, if that's what you want to do, you do you. And, you know, there's a couple of them that I really enjoy. There's several, you know, that I would like to do and give as gifts. Because I do have a lot of friends that, you know, they love Cinderella or they love, you know, Snow White or whatever. To me, that's just not my cup of tea. And that's okay. This one that I'm doing is a JoJo's Arts. This one is also a gift. This is not something that I would have purchased for myself, the actual picture. I get the enjoyment of doing this, the relaxation element, and the joy of giving it to someone that I know will appreciate the time and the effort that goes into it and knows that I was thinking about them while I was working on it. Because I'm very old-fashioned that way. I believe in, I would rather have something that you made that may not be perfect, but that you spent your time on and that you thought about and that really comes from the heart. Those are the kinds of gifts that I like. I mean, you know, if you want to buy me a Coach purse, that's okay too. I'll take it. But the gifts that really have the most meaning are the ones that people have spent time making for me, that, you know, I appreciate the time and the effort and the thought that goes behind those kinds of gifts rather than, you know, running to the store and, you know, just picking up whatever you see. Again, off subject. Sorry about that. Do you prefer clear or opaque covers? I prefer the opaque covers. As you can see, this is a Diamond Art Club, which means it comes with a clear cover on it. I know they were experimenting with the opaque covers. To me, the opaque covers, I don't mind not being able to see the entire painting. I've seen the whole painting. It's amazing. That is not the question. The question is that when I was trying to work on this the last couple nights, like I said, this is the 5th day that I've worked on this. When I was trying to work on this the last couple nights, the plastic was so staticky that I couldn't get it off the adhesive. When I did get it off the adhesive, it did actually tear, and I had to go in with my tweezers and very carefully get that section up. And then I couldn't get any movement out of it because of the static, which is not DAC's fault. Oh, what? That's not DAC's fault. That's, you know, I blame the static on weather and things like that. But, you know, to me, it was getting on my nerves. I couldn't handle it anymore. So this is, just opaque backing off of some of the other paintings that I've done. I just kind of save them and keep them all in a notebook in a sleeve. And I just pulled them out and opened up the sections. What I like about the opaque covers is that you can fold it back. And I can pull it off and I can stick it back on, you know, and different things like that. So I prefer the opaque covers. Sorry guys, I've got neighbors that are moving in. So if you're hearing some thumping and things like that, I believe that they're moving in above me. So just kind of disregard if you don't mind. What is your favorite DP that you have done? My favorite one would probably be my Hogwarts crest. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm all about it. I'm planning to do an entire series of them. I would like to do I did the Hogwarts crest, which is, you know, it's got the badger and the snake and the raven or eagle, whichever crest that you prefer. I don't really have a preference. And the Gryffindor lion on it. So I did the crest first, and then the plan is to get a picture of each of the Hogwarts crests. I've got several that I'm eyeing on AliExpress, and hang them up in my bedroom. I'd like to do that in my bedroom. But hang them up as a set of 5. And then at some point I would like to get Hogwarts Castle itself. Now that one is going to have to be a very large diamond painting to be able to get all of the detail that I would like to get. So that'll probably be one that I look at later on just because of the size of it. I'm not prepared to do another one that's very large right now. In fact, after this one, I will probably take a break from diamond painting. I had asked in a live yesterday if some of you guys might be interested in doing learning to crochet, and I got some positive responses on that. So I think I'll be doing possibly a tutorial Tuesday maybe, and on Tuesdays I will sit you down and we will just, if you want to learn how to crochet, you can learn how to crochet. If not, you can skip those videos. It won't hurt my feelings. Well, it might a little, but I'll get over it. But basically I would just walk you through the basics of crocheting. So we would start with, you know, the types of needles and the types of yarn and how to do a slip stitch and how to do, you know, all of the basic stitches and things like that, so that you guys can hopefully pick that up. And then haven't decided if I want to give you, you know, a little homework, or if you just, you know, need to work on it, find a pattern that uses that stitch a lot so that you can kind of master it. And eventually I would like to get up to where maybe after 6 months or so, we can all do a crochet along, which is basically where a pattern or a block gets released and everybody does that block, you know, in a week, or they do, you know, 5 rows a month or something like that. But we're all working on the same project at the same time, so that we can compare and ask questions and all that kind of stuff. I thought that would be really fun. So that's something that I'm kind of batting around the idea of doing. All right, let's see here. How many DPs are in your stash? At the moment, I have 2 diamond paintings in my stash, not including my whip. So I count my whip as something separate since I'm actually working on it. I've got 2 more in my stash, and then I've got 1 other one coming. So when I started this, I tend to, when I start new things, like jump in head first and like buy all the things, and then find out 2 months in that I don't really like it, or I don't like it as much as I thought I did, kind of a thing, and then I've spent a whole butt ton of money. So when I started doing diamond painting, I set myself a $30 a month spending limit. So I spend between, I didn't really stick to it, so I spent between $30 and $50 a month on diamond paintings or diamond painting accessories or anything to do with diamond painting. So last month I hadn't bought anything in February, and then they had the Diamond Art Club BOGO sale, so I actually went over budget on that. But I kind of justified it to myself as I had 2 months worth of budget because I didn't spend anything in February. So I did buy 2 months worth of diamond paintings in February. This month I've gotten the Derice containers, which again were I think $17, and I bought the my TARDIS tray, which was $10.95. So that's pretty much my budget. I also bought the supplies to send the cards for the diamond painting marathon, and so I kind of counted those in as diamond painting related costs. So that's the way I personally do it. I've decided I do not want to have more than 5 in my stash at any one time. That's just personal preference. 1, I don't have the space for it. 2, I need to be more conscious about what I'm buying, and I don't want to just buy to buy. I want to buy to do, if that makes sense. So I did this when I started crocheting again, several years ago. Right now, I've got a bookshelf, a small bookshelf. It's got 3 shelves on it. It stands about waist height. And when I started to crochet, I saw these people that have these huge yarn stashes. And if you have the space for it and you have the money for it, that is great. But I knew that I didn't. And so I bought this, and I think I got that bookshelf for $5 at a thrift store. And I told myself that when the shelf was full, I wasn't allowed to buy any more yarn. And I actually stuck to that because I tended to buy yarn for the projects that I was working on. So I would have extras left over, but I would never really have just skeins of yarn that I had no idea what I was going to do with. The only ones that I buy without discrimination when they have a sale is I buy the colors black, gray, and white, because those are the ones that I use in pretty much every single project that I do. I use one of those 3 colors or a combo of them. So I do allow myself to buy those. So I may have 4 skeins of white over there, but I know that it's going to get used, if that makes sense. I'm not going to buy 4 skeins of mustard yellow if I'm not going to use mustard yellow. And apparently I'm going to squirrel this whole diamond painting thing tag, so just kind of go with me on my little tangents if you don't mind. Okay, number 7. What is the largest size you've completed? I don't know what size this is, so give me just a second. This one is a 42 by 57, so that means that Groot, which was a 50 by 65, I believe, is the largest one that I've completed. The next one that I have on my to-do list is larger than Groot, so that one will then be the largest, but since I haven't completed it, it doesn't count. Do you keep your spare drills? I do keep my spare drills. I'm just building up my stash. I mean, I've completed less than 10 diamond paintings. I only work on one at a time, which I think is a future question. I probably shouldn't have said that. But I like to take my time. If I've spent the money on it, I can't remember. I think it was maybe Ella that said something along the lines of, if you think about like trying to justify the cost of a diamond painting. I honestly can't remember who it was. But whoever it was said something along the lines of, if you go to a movie lasts 2 hours. You're going to spend, unless it's like a matinee, you're still going to spend $10, maybe $20 to get in to see that movie. And then, of course, when you go to a movie, you have to have concessions. Even if you sneak them in from another place, you still had to purchase them. So then you're looking at, what, a Coke is like $6 or $7, and then a popcorn is $5 or $6, $7, $8. I don't know. I haven't been to the movies in a while. I don't know what the cost is. I just know it was really expensive last time. So when you look at it, you've spent $50 to go to the movies by yourself. That's, not if you're taking anybody else with you. And you get 2 hours of entertainment out of it. So I try to remind myself of that when I'm looking at diamond paintings. Because now, this one was my get one free during the BOGO. And I think this one's like $40 or $50. It's in that range somewhere. But I've already probably spent, this is day 5. So let's say 2 hours a day. So I've already spent a good 10 hours on this one. And I'm not anywhere near finished. So when you look at it, time of entertainment versus the cost of it, diamond painting is really cheap. So I don't know if that all made sense, but again, kind of a tangent. But the question was, do I keep my spare drills? I do. So I'm still building up my collection. I plan in the next couple of weeks or the next month to reorganize them. Right now I've got them organized in a binder, which I can actually show you because it's sitting right here. Let me reach past you. So I just took mine. This is a binder from the Dollar Tree. And I go through here. You can see this is where I keep my extra papers there. And then I keep mine in here. So this is one that I have not completed yet. And I just put it in there with the inventory sheet. And then I leave the drills this way. And then this is one I've completed. So this is an Amazon one that I've completed. So I take and I do my drills this way. So I keep my drills by painting right now. There's my aerial that I finished. You can see there. And these are all the leftovers. And then this is my first DAC, which was Bailar Conmigo. And since that one didn't come with a inventory sheet, I made my own. And then this is my Hogwarts crest here that I did. And then those are its leftover drills. So I've just kind of made it work. If the drills were really bad condition, like those first two pictures that I ordered, I did not keep those. I threw those in the trash because they were not good. But I plan on pulling those out of the binders here soon. I'll use that binder for probably upcoming projects since I won't have very many in my stash. And then I'm going to take the photo boxes the way that Aberdexter and Cindy B did and make it to where, you know, the cards go in and they stand up and they're in order and all of that kind of stuff. And then I'll separate them into rounds and squares, and then I'll probably give DAC and Ever Moment their own sections. I won't mix those in with other drills just because of the quality. I will probably keep those separate, and I'm still batting ideas around, so when we get there, I'm sure that I will film it for you. Okay. What kind of setup do I have? Where do I DP? I DP in my living room. I live in a one-bedroom apartment, so I don't have a whole lot of space. So I DP in my living room. My table is a pop-up card table. And I have next to me, I have what's called a dry bar. Some of you probably know what that is. Some of you don't. So it doesn't have a sink basically. It's got a couple drawers, it's got a couple cabinets, and a really, really deep top on it. It's kind of an inset, like where most people's fireplaces would be. And in fact, my neighbor upstairs has a fireplace where my dry bar is. So I use that shelving and everything, the storage and things like that, the drawers, to store my supplies. And then I have my easel here set up on my card table. I'm sure that I will show you a picture of this someday, but it won't be today because I haven't vacuumed my floors. So that's my setup. That's how I work, and then I can leave it up as I need to. But if I have guests, then I can take it down. I can store it in a closet, and it's not in the way. It says, do you work on only one DP at a time or several? I tend to just stick to one DP at a time. That is my personal preference. I have stopped working on one to really quickly do a different one. But I do tend to stick to just one at a time. I don't go back and forth. You know, I don't work on one day and work on another day. Okay. Let's see. What is the biggest oops you have ever made? My biggest oops really wasn't too terribly bad. I laid down probably about 60 of the wrong colored drills. And sometimes when I do that, if the colors are close enough, I'm not gonna lie, I just leave it like it is and call it good. So for instance, if I laid down a 939 where a 310 was supposed to be, I'm not pulling those up. You can't tell the difference, or at least I can't tell the difference, so I'm not going to get real fussed about it. I'm just going to leave it like it is, and if I run short on whatever color that I used, I'll just switch out the other color. Honestly, the only person that's ever going to know if that happens is you. So, again, I'm not going to get real fussed about it. I'm just going to let it be. But I am pretty lax sometimes like that. Some people probably call it lazy. But I just don't see the need to make a huge deal about it. Now, the two colors that I did lay down in my oops were not the correct color. Their symbols were very similar. And I didn't realize until the end when I started getting it, because I'd started like in a blank area like this, and the closer I got to the rest of the finished piece where the drills were already down, that's when I could tell that something wasn't right. And that was just me mixing up two very similar symbols that weren't necessarily all that clear. So, you know, I think I was in somebody's live chat, so I probably wasn't paying that much attention. Question 12. Do you prefer to DP alone or with someone? I kind of go in between. So sometimes I'm perfectly content to sit here and watch TV or listen to an audiobook or watch videos back, but most of the time I really do like to DP with someone. I keep trying to get all my friends to do this, and I haven't really got any takers so far. I've gotten a lot of people that like it. They think it's really cool, but it's not necessarily something they want to do themselves. So sometimes my sister and I will FaceTime and we'll craft together. She does, you know, card making, and she has a lot of stuff with her Cricut, and she does amazing stuff for like parties and things like that. So we'll both be crafting, working on different crafts, but crafting, and we'll just kind of sit and visit. So those are really nice. I really enjoy those times. And then, of course, my best friend is also very crafty, and so sometimes we'll just sit and work on things. She makes a lot of wreaths and does some things like that. So I don't have any shortage of crafters around me. I do have a shortage of diamond painters. So a lot of times I will be in a live chat, and even if I'm working and lurking, I'm still listening, and to me that makes it feel like you're not quite crafting alone. Let's see here. How many have I finished? Let me count. 7? I think it's 7. Unless I'm forgetting one. So 7, 8-ish is what we'll call it. And I've been crafting I've been DPing since October of 2018. So just a few months. Don't think that's a It's not a shameful number or anything. So I'm going to go with it. What is your favorite type of picture to order? Wolves, landscape, Disney, etc. I don't know that I have a favorite. At the moment, it would probably be Harry Potter. But I've only ordered one Harry Potter. Like I said, most of the ones I've done have been gifts. And so I will kind of find something that I know that person likes. So again, the Little Mermaid one that I did was for a Christmas present. And she absolutely loves Little Mermaid. She loved the picture and, really enjoyed it. Again, Groot. I like Groot. I like the character of Groot. Not something that I would have ordered for myself, but my niece absolutely loves Groot, and so she got a Groot, if that makes sense. So the only ones that I've really ordered for myself, I've got my Hogwarts one, which I've already talked about, and then I ordered a Doctor Who one. Again, that's another one of the fandoms that I'm a part of and that I really enjoy, and it's a quote, and I won't go into a whole lot of detail because I'm sure I'll show it here before I start working on it. But those are the ones that I've ordered for myself. The snowman, of course, for Christmas. I do like Christmas ones. I don't know how many Christmas ones that I will do this year. I've seen a couple that I would really love to be able to frame and hang up during the holidays. So that may be something that I'll look at. But Christmas is a long time away. We're only in April. I'll worry about it when it gets closer to time. Who was the first YouTube creator that you found? I know I've said this one before. My first creator that I found was Fruitini. And after Fruitini, I believe it was either Ella, who is Kicking Cancer's Butt in Diamond Painting, or it may have been Gwenny. From Everything Gwenny. I don't remember which order I found them in. I may have found them the same day. And from there, it was Wendy Got Off My Meds and Stitcherista. And then Mrs. Coffee and Rachel Ray and Wolfpack. And a lot of those later ones came because of chatting with someone in their live and then finding them, through that, and then going and checking out their channels. That's the way I kind of navigated the YouTube circle. And, then of course I've just added more and more on. I have some of the ladies, from overseas, like Caroline Withington and Rosie Posey Crafts. I just found them recently and absolutely have loved getting to know everybody. Shady Lady and Bailey, I think, are both in Australia. And I just love everybody's take on it. Aussie Diamond Painters is another one. She does really great whipping chats, and I hope you're feeling better soon and that you get to come back to us. Aussie Diamond Painter. But I love listening to her whipping chats, especially at work. During the day, they're very relaxing. And I love, everybody talks about we don't have accents, but I have an accent, y'all have an accent. To everybody, somebody has an accent. So I love listening to them talk, the different verbiage that they use and things like that. Just kind of tickles me sometimes. So those are the ones that I found in the order that I found them. Have I ever ordered a custom? I have not ordered a custom. I have a couple in mind that I would like to order. And I will probably be doing that. I'm thinking maybe sometime in the summer. Because for those of you that don't know, Texas gets hot in the summer, and I don't do hot. And so I tend to be even more of a hermit than normal in the summertime because I don't like to sweat. So I just stay in my very air conditioned, cool apartment, and I don't do a lot of things outside if I can help it. So I will need entertainment this summer so that I can stay cool. Let's see, what are the companies that you would never order from? So I've heard a lot of things about a lot of companies. Personally, what I have observed, I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to order from Huracan because right as I came into diamond painting, they were in the midst of Drillmageddon, and nothing seems to have actually been fixed with that. I don't understand why people keep ordering from them when every review that I've seen on them the last 4 or 5 months has been the drills are popping, the drills are popping. I don't understand why you would order and continue to order from a company that's not fixing a problem like that affects the quality. I mean, it's your money, you do you. But I wouldn't order from them personally. When I start hearing that things are actually being fixed and that the issue is not coming up anymore, then I'm perfectly willing to give them a try. But if there's a known problem, that's like, if Maytag washers started leaking everywhere, you're not going to keep buying a Maytag washer knowing that it's going to leak. So to me, it just doesn't make any sense. I guess if you had some in your stash that were old before the problem was known, that makes sense to do them. But again, I'm not going to waste my money on a product that's just going to make me cuss a lot. And I mean, I like a good F-bomb every now and then, but I'm not going to order something that's going to make me throw those F-bombs around like confetti. So, that would be number one. And then I think after them, I'm on the fence about Paint with Diamonds. I like some of their images, but again, I haven't heard great things about them. Even the people that are not, I don't actually know what the whole drama with them was, but apparently there was something that happened. Anyway, I haven't heard great things about the quality and things like that. So, I tend to, when I'm shopping, especially on AliExpress or on Amazon, I'm reading reviews. I am, looking to see how many is purchased. I'm looking at store ratings on AliExpress. And if they have about a, high 98, I would say high 98 to 100%, and they've been open for more than about 3 or 4 years, those are the ones I'm going to order from. So those are the ones that I am looking for. I'll try new companies and things like that. So far, I haven't had a really bad experience or a horrible painting or anything from AliExpress. But again, I've only bought a few. And I've been very choosy about who I've purchased from. So I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. I'm sure, just as time goes and I order more, I'll probably get some bad ones that I'm super unhappy with. But so far, so good. And if a company is willing to, take care of a problem and have good customer service and things like that, and I'll say this, I'll throw this out there. I had a lot of the issues with the Little Mermaid one that I showed you earlier. Like I said, that was the same one that Rachel Ray did. And I had a lot of the same issues that she had while she was doing it. I don't know that I would buy from Home Phone again. I'm willing to give them another chance because it wasn't a horrible experience. I didn't like the way the end product turned out. So maybe, I don't know, maybe try squares from them or something. I may like those better. I'm on the fence with them. So I'm willing to give them another chance, but it would only be one more chance. So maybe Home Fun. Definitely who it can. Let's see here. Do you seal your canvases? I have not sealed any of my canvases. They have all, however, gone behind glass in a picture frame. So that may be, I don't feel like I need to seal them if they're going to go behind glass, because the glass is going to act as basically a sealer, if that makes sense. So no, I've not sealed any of mine. And again, I've not had any, popping issues or anything like that. So I don't feel the need to seal them. I don't know. Do you prefer rounds or squares? I don't really have a preference. I like both. My first one was round. My first couple, several actually, were round. In fact, Groot was the first square that I've done. I do like the squares. I like the overall effect that they give when the picture is finished. The squares are a little bit more detail oriented, I guess, if that's how we want to say it. I like the detail that they give you. I like that you don't have huge gaps, if you have gaps at all, the way some of the rounds do. The rounds do go so much faster, and I appreciate that for what it is. Let's see, we're going to go with the 310s. So, in my opinion, I could take either or. It doesn't really make a difference to me. I think it would depend on the picture. How many drill pins do you have, and what is your favorite? I have 3 drill pins. Give me just a second, guys. Got 3 drill pins. So I've got this one, which was a pin that I purchased at Michael's for, I believe, $1.50. And I literally took it apart. I took the insides out of it. I used the tube that was in here to cut down a pink pin that I had with a pair of, I think I used wire cutters, to be honest with you. And I literally took that drill pin, which you can see there, it's just got a single tip placer on it. It does fit straight in. And I screwed the lid back on. This works really well. It is a good, cheap way for you to have a nice thicker pin. My hands were hurting with just the regular pink ones. They would hurt after like an hour and I'd have to stop DPing. So I used this one until I came up with, or till my number came up on the waiting list for my other ones. So that's how I did this one. So this one was a whole maybe $2 worth of effort to do, and it's nice and thick. The only thing I hated was this right here. I'd have to keep it turned like this, otherwise that would rub and that annoyed me. But if you take it off, you don't get the seal on the pin that you're supposed to have up here. So I have that one, and then I ordered Coral Sea, which is the one I've been using today. There we go. Get a nice good look at all of the colors. And the one that I received, this is from the Handmade Diamond Painting Pen group on Facebook. The one I received was not the one that I ordered. So my blank and someone else's blank who got their order the same day were actually mixed up. So the blank is correct. I did order Coral Sea. However, if you can see, one of the things that they do is you can get different shapes cut into your pen. So this one has a deep divot here in the middle. And then it is skinnier on one end and fatter on the other end. The one that I ordered was a 3-bump that was supposed to be as fat as possible. So while I like this one and I use this one because it's a gorgeous pen and it is pretty comfortable, it wasn't the one that I ordered. So when Carol recognized that they had gotten the orders picked up or mixed up, I was perfectly willing to send this one here that I had received to the customer that had received mine. And Carol actually, she made it right. You guys, I would totally buy from them again if their wait list wasn't 7 years long. But she let us basically choose another blank, and they fixed it that day within, I would say, about an hour. And the new ones were mailed, I think, the next day to us for the correction. So thank you so much, Carol and Sean, for that. I will give you props and kudos all day long for making that order right. And so I decided that if I was going to have this one, they let us keep it, that I might as well order a different blank. I had been torn between the two when I ordered the first one. So the second one that I ordered was Orion Nebula, and you guys have seen me use this one before. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in this one. There we go. That's a good angle to see the sparkle. But this was my second choice. And so I actually got this one for free from Sean and Carol as the replacement. So you can see the difference in the sizes. This one is a 3-bump, as fat as possible. And I absolutely love the shape of this pen. It is super comfy. Guys, this is thicker than a marker. So, you know, like a Crayola marker, you know how big around those things are? It's about maybe a little bit bigger than that. So this is super comfortable. I can hold this pen and diamond paint for hours without my hands hurting. So I really enjoy this one. I use this one more than this one. Now the cool thing about Sean and Carol's pens is the ends pop out like I think most people nowadays that make these hand-turned pens, your ends will pop out and you can exchange them. So I keep a single placer and a 3-placer on both of these because those are the ones that I use the most often. So out of these two, this is my favorite pen, which is the Orion Nebula. And I know a lot of the other groups, you can get this blank. Even in some of the other groups that are not Carol and Sean's group, you can still get this blank and just somebody else turns it, basically. But that's the over answer for that question. How do you deal with bubbles and rivers in your canvas? So I actually have watched several videos. My Little Mermaid did have some bubbles and rivers that popped up after I received it. So I got it and then opened it and it was perfect. And then a couple weeks later when I actually went to work on it, that's when the problems popped up. And I think we have decided that that's kind of like a dramatic temperature change situation. So I used a combination of the slashing approach where you take the end of your drill pin or you take an X-Acto knife or whatever and you slash so that the adhesive lays down flat again, and then I'll roll it out. Or the other one, which is the scratch method, is what I call it. So really where you like I'll take the very tip of my drill pin and keep it at an angle and basically cut those, just scratch it and make it lay down real flat. I've used both and haven't really had an issue with either one. Again, I did have to use that for the Little Mermaid, and I had a small section on my Hogwarts that came up, but I think it was because I was using a smaller easel. And so the picture was having to be draped over, and it basically created a crease in the canvas from the way that I had it on the table. So that was on me, not on the company. But I made it work. You know, Tim Gun School. Make it work. Do you use multi-placers? I do use multi-placers, and I absolutely love my multi-placers. The one I use the most often is the 3-placer. I know a lot of people are super excited about their 4-placers. I don't have a 4-placer yet. I'm not mad at it, but you know, I do like my 3-placer. And then the one that I use the next most often is this one, and I just put this on. I think this is the Diamond Dots pen, actually, and I think this is a 10-placer. Actually, I thought it was a 9-placer, but I believe it's actually a 10-placer. So these are the two, the 3 and the 10 are the ones that I use the most often. I did see where Jeremy Fryrear unboxed a giveaway that he had won, and he had tilted multi-placers. So like it's like this, it's a 10-placer, but it had a tilt angle to it, and it would be so much easier to put it down with that angle to it, kind of like those bent neck tweezers that you get with everything. I'm gonna have to get me some of those. That's on my list. I put it on the list. So I think I'll get one of those. I do also use a 6-placer. I usually only pick up 5 drills with the 6-placer. I don't know what it is about it. It's kind of awkward. And so it's not my favorite multi-placer to use. Maybe I just need to work with it a little more. But I pretty much stick with my 3 and my 10. If you can sit and DP with anyone on YouTube in person, who would it be and why? I think I would absolutely love to sit with Laura Law by her pool, and we could just sit out there and we could smoke cigarettes, have a little cocktail, and DP and pet kitty cats. Like, that sounds like the perfect day to me. I love you, Laura Law. I would love to... Oh, who else would I want to diamond paint with? Like, I want to diamond paint with, like, everybody. Me and Abra Dexter, I see you. Like, I don't know if they should let us diamond paint together, because I think we'd get in trouble. Creative Mayhem, I would love to diamond paint with her. And you know, I would love to diamond paint with Rosie Posey. She is such a funny person. I love her cackle. It makes me laugh so much, like in a good way. Like, I'm not laughing at you, Annie, I promise. I want to laugh with you. I just think we would have a good old time. She makes me smile so much. So many of you guys do make me smile. And I do appreciate that. So I think those would be my choices. Let's see. What is your favorite reason to DP? I DP because I like it. It is a great stress reliever. It's helped a lot with my anxiety. My anxiety, some of you know, has been really high the last month or so. And this has really saved my butt a couple of times from, you know, a full-on anxiety attack. So it just depends, but really it's just a very soothing craft. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to be focused on what I'm doing constantly. I'm not counting, you know, or anything like that, which is one of the things, you know, I got to that point on most of my crochet to where I didn't have to count, you know, like when you're doing some stitches and you've got, you know, 3 double crochets. I don't really have to count. I can just tell by the way it feels and the way it looks whether it's right or not. But this one, you know, once you have it set up, it's really just paying attention to what symbols that you're putting things down on. And to me, that's not that big a deal. I can do that, and I can watch television or listen to a book or whatever and just kind of zone. And that sometimes that is exactly what you need after a long, hard day, is just to zone out and give your brain a break and let it kind of woo-saw on its own. So, would you go to a DP retreat if there was one? Absolutely. I would love to do a DP retreat. I've thought about, and I'm working on finding us a location for those of us that live in the DFW Metroplex. I'm actually trying to find us a location where we could go in for a day and have a DFW meetup. It wouldn't be a whole weekend, just a day. So if you know of any places that we could do that, leave me a comment down below. And I'm looking at probably mid-June is kind of what I was thinking to do that. So that would be for anyone in the DFW area, or, you know, maybe southern Oklahoma that wants to drive down. It's only a couple of hours. Give me just a second, guys. I need a drink. I'm kind of looking into doing that. So if you're interested and you have any ideas, again, put it in the comments down below. But yeah, absolutely, I would love to have a retreat. Do you prefer a thick or a thin canvas? You know, I really like the thicker canvases. I know this is I don't know if you could consider a DAC a thick canvas. I consider it a sturdy canvas. I love the velveteen backing. That's not the reason that I buy Diamond Art Club, but it certainly don't hurt it. So, I do prefer kind of the thicker ones. They kind of feel a little more sturdy, a little less flimsy when you use those. What is your favorite tray to use? I have a large tray and a small tray. So this orange one, which was an Amazon special, you know, and it came with 15 other million things in the little pack for like $7. This is my favorite large tray. Archer's Arch tray is on my list. I actually thought I was going to be able to use the TARDIS tray in place of getting an Archer's Arch tray, but I think I'm actually going to have to go ahead and order an Archer's Arch tray to have the one with the spout. That's the only thing about this one that I don't like, is that it doesn't have the spout on it. And so when I use this one, I have to use my trusty funnel to get them back in the container. So that's the only thing that annoys me about this tray. Otherwise, I absolutely like this one. And then my small tray that I use all the time is this white one. It came with some painting. It's a Mosfa tray. So I just use it if there's only, you know, 10 or 20 drills going on a section, then I'll use the small one. If there's a lot, I'll use the big one. Super not complicated kind of a thing. Who have you passed the DP addiction on to? At the moment, nobody. That is really sad to say. I'm trying to get some of my friends involved and all of that kind of stuff, but so far I don't think anybody that I know of has tried it. I know my mom is interested in it. My sister watches my videos. Thank you, sister. I love you. And, you know, supports me and things like that. But as far as I know, nobody has DP'd because of me, which is super sad. So I'll take a moment and grieve that we don't have another convert. And we're back. Okay, so what is your favorite drill color? So I alternate between the 550s, which most of us know is this absolutely gorgeous, I don't even know if you can, it's not even giving it justice, absolutely gorgeous purple color. And at the moment, this blue color is like giving me life, y'all. It is giving me life. And this is 820. Just a really gorgeous royal blue color. It has given me all the life this week. I'm loving it. And I really love, this is $9.95, which is this camera is not even doing this justice. But it's this really gorgeous aqua turquoise color. So right now, those are probably my 3 top ones, especially out of this picture. I know I've had others. They kind of, it comes and goes. But those right now are my favorites. If I could DP anywhere in the world, where would it be? I would want to visit Scotland really badly. So I would probably take my DP to Scotland. Might pop over to Ireland to visit Rachel. And we'll go find some cliffs or something and DP at the top of the cliffs. Maybe. And pretty much anywhere in England. I do want to visit England. I'd want to visit Wales. So I'll pop in on Cal down there and see her. And I think then after that I would want to go to Australia. And then I would want to go to like Switzerland and Belgium, the Netherlands, some of those countries like that I think would be a lot of fun. Not so big on France. There's a few things I would like to do in France, but like I'm not dying to go to Paris or anything. If I want rude people, all I gotta do is go to Walmart. Not saying that all the French are rude. Don't be trying to get it all twisted. But I've not heard great things about Paris and the people there. I think I'd try Italy, Greece. I think would be absolutely gorgeous. And then maybe some island hopping. Go to some different places. I'd really like to go to Iceland and be able to see the volcanoes and the northern lights and things like that. Go up into, Norway and Sweden. See the fjords and things. I don't think I said that right, but we're going to act like I did. Anywho, so yeah. Pretty much everywhere. I'd like to go almost everywhere. So, as y'all can see, this is how I do the really cool. So I stick my funnel in there and then I pour my tray out. It's super highly technological. Okay, let's see here. We're almost done, guys. We're getting there. Do I use a light pad? I do use a light pad pretty much every time that I diamond paint. Do you use a lot of accessories or make do with what is in the kit? I think other than the tweezers, basically I have a tray and I have a pen. I have a funnel and I have my containers. That's pretty much what I use all the time. I guess, I don't know, do I use a lot of accessories? Do you consider that a lot of accessories? To me, it's not, but maybe to other people it is. My favorite working storage is what I showed you earlier. It's in the, everything is in the binder right now, so that would be my favorite long-term storage at the moment. I'm working on a different system. So this is my first go with the Doris tray, which would be working storage. So I'm still forming an opinion on these. So far, I do like them. It's working for me. And then before that, I was using these containers here, which are, I think, an ounce. I got some of these off Amazon. I got some of these in a store. And then these actually came from Dollar Tree. I think Diamond Painting with Eskies uses these. If I had known I would only ever be able to find these once, I would have bought more, because these are fantastic. They're plastic, first of all. They have a really good quality lid on them, and these are over in the like health section, and they're made, I think, for like travel products, so you can put like your face moisturizer or whatever in one of these instead of having to take like the big old jar of Olay or whatever you use. So if I had known I was only gonna be able to get 3 sets of these, I would have bought more at the time, because I do really, really like these. I think these hold about 10 or so bags of 100, so about 1,000 to about 1,500, I can't remember exactly, but they hold quite a bit, and I really like those. So those are the 2 sets that I've basically used. So I have, I think, 60 of these. I have 9 of these, and I've got the 1 set of the 48 count Doris, which is what this is here. So those are the only 2 types of storage things that I still currently use. I have 1 set that I got when I first started DPing, and I used those for about a month and then moved on. What was that doing? Switch to, see, here come them 550s. Which storage have you seen that you want? I think the next storage that I'm going to try will probably be the lockables. Actually, you know what? No. I think the next storage that I'm going to try are going to be the Harbor Freight boxes, because I have Harbor Freight about 5 minutes down the road, and those are cheap enough that if I decided to use those for long-term storage, I wouldn't feel very guilty. I don't think that's what they'll end up being. I think they'll probably end up being working storage, but I think those are the next set that I'm going to try. So probably be looking out for that in the next couple months or so. And then after that, I may try the lockables, but I think I'm going to get the ones like, I can't remember if it was Cindy's Traveling Crafts or Ginger that got them for their giveaway. They don't come in the binder. They were the extra large ones, and I know that I have seen those at Joann's. So I'm just waiting on them to go on sale again, and then I'm going to be hitting those up to see if I like those, because those I think would be probably one of the best for traveling. And the only reason I don't think the Doris would be very good for traveling is just because the tray is so large. And if you take the containers out of the tray, that defeats the whole point of having the tray. So, yeah. So I think the Harbor Freight ones are what I'm going to try next. Who inspired my channel? Most of you that have been watching since the beginning, which was like, 4 videos ago. So, thanks for hanging in there, guys. I know it's been a really long long ride there. So my channel is actually inspired by two people. I talk the most about Creative Mayhem because we made a deal over the tweezers that launched the channel. And so she's probably the main reason that I started my channel. But I do remember back when I was still pretty new, I think I'd only been coming into the lives like for a month or so. And I was having a good day. I was making witty comebacks. I was being funny. People were laughing. And, you know, we all like to be that person to make everybody laugh. And we were all having a good time. And I remember Rachel Ray making a very, very sweet comment. And I'm not going to tear up about it. Sorry. She made a very sweet comment when I was having a very rough time. Sorry, and that comment meant a lot to me. So I would say, ooh, get it together, Marissa. So I would say Creative Mayhem and Rachel Ray both equally influenced the channel. Sorry, y'all. Ooh, we was having fun and I went there. Okay. Let me get some coffee. All right, here we go. Do you cut your cover or leave it whole? Well, I like to leave it in sections. I think it's easier to work on when you can take off a small section, or when you can fold. You can see most of this has fold lines in it. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just take the cover, pull it up like this, and just fold it back and then work on that one section. That's one of the reasons I really like the opaque, is because I think it's a lot easier to do that with the opaque covers than it is to do that with the plastic covers. I struggle a lot with the plastic covers, so I like the sections. It makes you actually feel like you've gotten somewhere. And yeah. Okay. What do you do with your extra trays, wax, and pens? At the moment, they are all neatly sitting in storage container here. So I've got all my pens. I've taken off the tips, created single tips and multi-placers. Got all my green boats here. And then my extra tweezers, the bent neck ones that are not very good. Those, which I'll probably use for something else. I just haven't figured out what yet. And I just keep them in a 3-drawer storage containers. When they get to be too much, I'll either donate them to someone that wants to use them for something, or I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'm sure we're creative enough that as a group we could probably come up with something. I do wish, and this is another squirrel, but I do wish companies would like give you a box to check to let them know that you don't need a toolkit, because to me that's just really, really wasteful. If you're, if you're starting out, you'll need it, you'll use it. I've used this Diamond Dots pen, this clear pen. Diamond Dots literally was the second purchase I made, and I've been using this since October. I really like this pen for what it is. And, obviously I only use it for my 10 placer now. But, when I was just starting out, I needed this pen. Now, I don't need one with every single painting that I order. And I think like Groot, I think came with 3 toolkits. I did not need 3 toolkits. I didn't need it. It's just ridiculous. I would rather you take $1 off of the picture that I'm ordering than send me crap that I have to figure out what to do with. But that's just me. Do you use wax or another type of tacky? I started out using the wax, and then I went to floral putty, which is very similar to like the blue tacky that people use. I don't know if you can see this. If you can see that green in there, that's floral putty. And what I realized after a while is that because there is a small tiny hole down in the center of your single placer, that putty kept getting pushed back through there, and so it was collecting down in the tips of the pins. And then I got my first DAC, and I had misplaced my floral putty and it got buried under something. So I started using the pink wax that was with my first DAC kit, and I've been using my DAC hearts ever since then. So I've kind of come back around. I think a lot of people have done that, is they've tried the pink wax, they didn't like the cheap stuff, and so they've, you know, tried something different, and then they've eventually come back to the pink wax again. So I've kind of come full circle as far as that goes. All right, guys, last question. What is your ultimate dream diamond painting? I don't know that I have an answer to that. I don't have anything at the moment that I don't think I can get. Yep, I mean, pretty much everything I want. There's some different pictures, but it's not like you can't get something done as a custom. So maybe I'm gonna say, hey DAC, I know you're working on it, but maybe some customs would be great. So maybe that's what my wish should be, DAC customs. All right, guys, this has been almost an hour and a half, which is fantastic. So this will be the longest one that I've put up so far. I'm going to go ahead and post a link down below to the Google Doc where I have all of these questions. So you should be able to just click down there if I do it right and get the list of questions. I welcome everybody that wants to do this tag to go ahead and do this tag. I'm really looking forward to all of your videos. If you guys have some different questions, we want to create another tag, whichever, let me know. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. Promise it won't hurt my feelings. I love reading your comments. Thank you so much to all of the new people that have subscribed, to all of the people that have been here since the very beginning. Every comment, every thumbs up, every I hearted this video gets looked at, it gets read, and hopefully it gets replied to, even if it takes me a few days. I can't tell you, some days, you guys, some days y'all are what keeps me going. So thank you so much. If you liked everything that you've seen here, go watch a couple of other videos, then hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell so you can be notified when I post new content. And until next time, remember, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to do things. Bye, guys.